In this video, we will be discussing the Design, Review and Publish page. The objective of Review and Publish in SoQM is to review and approve the firm's draft system of quality management, whereafter the system will be published for all users to implement. Review and Publish can be found in the Design module. The firm reviews the draft system of quality management to ensure that all objectives are identified and recorded, all risks are identified and appropriately assessed, all responses, as designed, are sufficient to reduce the impact of quality risks, and all links between the objectives, risks, policy and procedure responses, tasks and monitoring activities are appropriate. Note that only signed-off items are reflected in the draft system of quality management, and only these signed-off items will be published to the firm's system of quality management. The system will reflect each signed-off objective, risk, policy, and procedure response and task with their linked items. The review of the draft system will show errors and warnings, which highlight specific elements that need to be reviewed. Errors are those items where objectives do not have risks linked to them, risks do not have objectives linked to them, risks do not at least have either a policy or a procedure response linked to them, policy responses do not have risks linked to them, procedure responses do not have policy responses linked to them, tasks do not have procedure responses linked to them, or for any of these scenarios, the linked items are not signed off as prepared. The firm cannot proceed to approve the draft system of quality management until all errors have been resolved and there are no error messages in the draft system. Errors are resolved in the individual pages. For example, in the case of an objective that does not have a risk link to it, by either navigating to objectives and linking a risk to the objective, or navigating to risks and linking the relevant risk to that objective. Warnings indicate potentially incomplete data and do not necessarily indicate errors in the draft system of quality management. Warnings are those items where policy responses do not have procedure responses linked to them, procedure responses do not have tasks linked to them, or these linked items are not signed off as prepared. The firm must consider each warning and, if necessary, resolve the warning by either adding additional content or linking the relevant items. No action is required if the firm has intentionally not linked the items highlighted in the warnings. For example, where a firm has designed a policy response, but there is no procedure response to action that policy response. Then the warning for that policy response will remain in the draft system of quality management. Another example can be where the firm has designed a procedure response, but the action will be taken outside of SoQM. In this case, there won't be a task linked to the procedure response, and the warning will remain in the draft system of quality management. The draft system of quality management is approved by clicking on Approve in the Review and Publish page. The draft system cannot be approved while there are unresolved errors. When the draft system of quality management is approved, the status reflects the approval by indicating the date of approval and the name of the person that approved the system. A toast is also reflected at the bottom right corner. The firm's system of quality management can be published once the draft system has been approved. To publish, click Publish. A dialog will confirm that the firm's system of quality management, as approved, may be published to all users. Select Yes. When the firm's system of quality management is published, the status page reflects the date of the most recent published system of quality management and the name of the person that published the system. A toast is also reflected at the bottom right corner. A network firm may want to export the network required objectives, risks, policy responses, procedure responses, and tasks to be distributed to network member firms. This function can be performed in Design, Review and Publish. To export, click Export. A dialog will confirm that the user wants to export the firm's system of quality management. Set a name for the exported file and select Save. The exported data will be saved in the Downloads folder of the user, from where it can be distributed to network member firms. Network member firms will import this file as network mandatory items. Network imports are done in Settings. Before continuing to operate the firm's system of quality management, the firm should have reviewed and approved the draft system of quality management and published the system of quality management for all users to implement. You now know how to complete the Review and Publish page. Thank you for watching.